Darkness doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's quiet, heavy. Watching the story of Oprah Winfrey does not begin with applause or bright studio lights. It begins in silence, thick, suffocating silence on the back roads of Mississippi. A place where dreams were fragile and survival was a daily battle. This is not a fairy tale. This is a survival story. Before she became a symbol of hope, she was surrounded by fear. Before the world listened to her voice, she struggled to believe her own mattered. Every step forward felt like walking through a storm with no shelter in sight. This journey is not about fame. It's about endurance, about staring into darkness and choosing again and again not to disappear inside it. This is the tale of a girl who faced forces meant to break her hand, refused. Oprah Gail Winfrey was born in 1954 in a world that offered her very little mercy. Poverty wrapped around her childhood like a cold fog, inescapable, relentless. Raised by her grandmother, discipline was strict, love was limited, and survival was the priority. Fear was not a stranger. Trauma became a shadow that followed her silently. She learned early that the world could be unsafe, unpredictable, and cruel. The damage was invisible but heavy. It shaped her thoughts, her fears, her sense of worth. Books became her refuge. Words were walls. Stories were doors. When reality felt unbearable, knowledge became her escape. Reading wasn't just learning, it was survival. By her teenage years, the weight became unbearable. She stumbled, she fell, but fate shifted when she moved to live with her father, strict but stabilizing force who demanded discipline, education, and excellence. For the first time, structure replaced chaos. The darkness didn't vanish, but a crack of light appeared. Dreams don't arrive gently when you come from nothing. They come with fear. Oprah entered the world of media feeling like an outsider. She was young, black, female, emotional in an industry that demanded cold professionalism. Rejection was constant. Doubt was loud. She failed publicly, lost jobs, was told she was too much, too emotional, too real, too human. But what others called weakness became her weapon. Every failure sharpened her instincts. Every rejection taught her resilience. Slowly, painfully, she learned how to turn vulnerability into power. She wasn't chasing fame, she was chasing purpose. When the Oprah Winfrey Show launched nationally, it didn't explode, it crept into people's lives. Oprah didn't scream, she listened. She opened wounds on television no one dared to. Touch, pain, shame, healing, redemption. The show felt dangerous not because it shocked, but because it told the truth. Millions saw themselves in her honesty. The risk was enormous. One wrong step could end everything. But Oprah leaned into authenticity, like stepping into fire knowing it could burn her. Instead, it forged her. Power changes people. Oprah chose to control her destiny. She built Harpo Productions to own her voice. She stepped into film, storytelling, publishing. Every move was a risk financially, emotionally, Publicly, critics circled. Failures came. Losses hurt. But she didn't retreat. She expanded not to dominate, but to protect her truth. Her empire wasn't built on greed. It was built on ownership. With OWN Network, Oprah faced another near collapse. Ratings struggled, doubt returned, but she stayed. She turned the platform into a space for healing, education, and empowerment. Schools' voices, stories once ignored, now amplified. Her legacy became bigger than television. It became impact. Oprah Winfrey's story is not about perfection. It's about persistence. She walked through fear. She faced silence. She survived what could have ended her, and she chose every single time to rise. This is not the tale of a celebrity. This is the tale of a survivor who became a voice for millions.